Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Melissa, I'm a dietitian, and we talk about food and nutrition and intuitive eating, all that fun stuff here on my channel. So if you are into that, make sure you're subscribed. Today we're talking about diet culture and intuitive eating. Unfortunately, diet culture has really just kind of sunk its claws into intuitive eating, as it does with many things. Whether that is like the hunger fullness diet or freaking Gwyneth Paltrow's intuitive fasting book. Diet culture has just kind of taken these like key phrases from intuitive eating and turned it into diets and turned it into not even overtly diets. It's more of the like, look, this is a healthy lifestyle. It's not a diet. I feel like that's really the like key niche that it has kind of repurposed intuitive eating phrases into. So let's talk about some ways that diet culture has adapted intuitive eating and turned it into like not intuitive eating. So the first example, like I said, is the hunger fullness diet, which is essentially like eat when you're hungry, stop eating when you're full. That's obviously something that intuitive eating encourages too. Listening to your body, listening to your hunger and fullness cues. With this particular example, I think the important difference to really pay attention to is intent. With intuitive eating, the intent is listen to your body, reconnect to your body, not using external cues. Whereas with this hunger fullness diet, the message is of weight loss. It's essentially you're eating too much, so stop eating when you're full. And if you do that, you'll lose weight. And that's a really important distinction to make. You know, you are again repurposing these phrases and telling people that they're just overeating. No one's digging into why someone might be overeating. No one's digging into what messages are telling them to over or under eat. They're just saying you're overeating, so pay more attention to fullness cues and you'll lose weight. Another one that really comes to mind is the if it fits your macros, which I feel like this has been around for several years now. You've probably heard of it. It's essentially you have macros that you're trying to meet, and it doesn't matter what you eat as long as it fits into those macros, which I think gives the illusion of food freedom. It gives you the illusion that you don't have to restrict your food. You can eat whatever the heck you want. And I think that's how it's marketed as well. It's marketed as not a restrictive diet because you can eat whatever you want. But if you're trying to fit these specific macros, which are probably restrictive macros, let's be honest, the vast majority of people counting calories and macros are not counting them to maintain or gain weight. They're counting them to lose weight. So if you're restricting your calories, you're restricting your macros, you're trying to get your macros a specific ratio, that's restriction. And when it comes to food freedom, any type of restriction is keeping you from reaching food freedom. And therefore, any type of restriction is going to cause feelings of deprivation, restriction, lead to more cravings, lead to excess hunger. You know, it's the same thing as a diet that restricts food groups or specific foods or time that you're eating. It's just restricting macros instead, and it's disguising itself as you can eat whatever you want. And besides just adapting these like specific key words and turning them into their own diets, one thing I hear a lot from diet culture in general, frickin', what's her name? Jillian Michaels, just people who don't get it, who are in the healthcare field and just don't understand intuitive eating. One thing I hear is, well, if people could just eat whatever they want, they would just eat donuts all day. And it just goes to show that those people don't understand, and they're not trying to understand. I don't want to get too ranty on this, but that mentality just shows that you have not actually tried to understand intuitive eating. You've not done the work. It's just so not the point. It's about food freedom, yes. It's about when you want a donut, you can have a donut, sure. And maybe when you first start eating intuitively, you're gonna eat a lot of donuts. But guess what? If you're actually eating intuitively, you're gonna notice how those donuts make you feel, and you're probably not gonna want them for every single meal. And then you're gonna be able to specify when you do want them, how you feel, and what foods you actually do want. So, you know, when you hear that mentality from people entrenched in diet culture, from leaders of diet culture, like Jillian Michaels, it just shows a lack of understanding, and it shows, honestly, like a fear mongering, because I think that is a big fear of people who want to become intuitive eaters. They're sick of dieting, but they don't want to just like let themselves go, and they don't want to eat donuts all day. And I think that by people in diet culture saying that's all intuitive eating is, it's just spreading a really incorrect and harmful message, and it's totally ignoring what food freedom is actually about and what intuitive eating is actually about, which is connecting to your body. In the end, I think there are really a couple main differences between diet culture and these diets that have adapted intuitive eating into their diets and actual intuitive eating. The first one is rules. Diets have rules, whether that's what you can eat, when you can eat, how much you can eat. There's gonna be rules, and whether it's packaged as a sustainable lifestyle or an actual restrictive diet, there are rules there. With intuitive eating, there's not any rules. Sure, there's the principles of intuitive eating, but those aren't rules, they're just a guidance of how to reconnect with your body. Intuitive eating in the end is about connecting with your body. It's about having that flexibility, letting go of any rules or guilt around food. And there's not a wrong way to do it. Everything's a learning experience. So instead of feeling guilty if you eat something that you're not supposed to have on your diet, you know, the equivalent would be in intuitive eating if maybe you ate past the point of fullness or ate when you weren't hungry. That's not something that anyone who understands intuitive eating would ever make you feel guilty about. That's a learning experience. If you are feeling uncomfortably full, then it allows you the space to step back and see, why did you eat past the point of fullness? Is it because you were just like enjoying yourself and celebrating with your friends? Or was there like another emotion behind that? And it's a data point, it's not a guilt trip. And in addition to rules, the other big difference is restriction. Any type of diet is going to restrict something, whether that's specific foods, food groups, like I said again, times when you're not allowed to eat. Whatever lifestyle or diet you are following, there's 100% going to be restrictions. And automatically what that does is it disconnects you from your body, which again is the total opposite of intuitive eating. Those restrictions are telling you your body doesn't know best, this diet knows best. And it's taking you out of your body, it's telling you not to trust your body. And like I said, that's the opposite of intuitive eating. With intuitive eating, you're connecting to your body, you're not restricting anything. Maybe in the end, you'll end up eating less, but it's not because you're restricting. It's because that's what your body is letting you know it needs. And connecting to your body also gives you that flexibility. Maybe you eat more some days and less other days. And again, that's okay. It's okay to have that flexibility. There's no guilt associated with it. And it's all a learning experience. So those are just a few ways that I feel like diet culture has kind of dug its claws into intuitive eating and how we can separate the two. And I think, you know, if you're like on Instagram and you're seeing these fitness or health influencers using these kind of intuitive eating keywords, stepping back and seeing, are there rules there? Is there restriction there? That will allow you to see, like, is this person actually promoting intuitive eating and promoting food freedom? Or are they just promoting another diet that's packaged in a different way? So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if you've like noticed any keywords that you've been seeing a lot in different diets that kind of come from intuitive eating, and what you think of all this. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, subscribe if you have not already. You can get my new book, 5 Steps to Food Freedom, below, as well as apply to work with me one-on-one. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.